everyone. Welcome to another edition of Live to the Chamber. My name is Jack Faria. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am the Membership and Events Coordinator for the Wisconsin LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Great to see you all. Happy Thursday. We're almost there to the end of the week. Here we are. I am very excited for this edition of Live to the Chamber. We are speaking to the President and CEO of the Wisconsin LGBT Chamber, Jason Rae. Before we get going on that, want to give a shout out to our newest members of the Chamber. Let's take a look, shall we? We have Zen Business, based in Austin, Texas, North Shore Boulangerie, Shorewood, Ninjas for Health in Milwaukee, Singin' Entertainment, St. James 1868 Events in Madison, Sweet Perfections Bake Shop in Waukesha, and just a few more that have joined. We have Mark Heisey from Country Financial and Kismet Books in Verona, as well as Pandemic Learning Tutors from Madison, and obviously a group that began during the pandemic. Congrats to all those folks. Thank you for joining the Chamber. If you have questions about how to become a member of the Wisconsin LGBT Chamber, reach out to me at any time. My email will be in the description below, and we'll have a ticker run shortly. But I want to get to our guest as soon as we can. He's very busy. Today's guest, as I've mentioned, is Jason Rae, the President and CEO of the Chamber. As the founder of the Chamber, Jason is responsible for the overall direction and the operations of the Chamber. He's made it his personal mission to build inclusion and diversity throughout Wisconsin and make the state a truly inclusive and welcoming place to work. In addition to his work at the Chamber, Jason serves in many other capacities as a partner at Nation Consulting and as secretary of the Democratic National Committee. And that's his dog there, George Washington, just a fun thing to throw in there. All right, without further ado, let's bring him on in. Hello, Jason.
Hello, Jack. How are you today?
I am doing well. I'm all right. I'm feeling sinuses are acting up with the fall coming around, but I'm making sure to stay safe, stay indoors when I can, stay hydrated, all that stuff.
It's all important right now, especially as we continue to see a rise in COVID cases, to just stay inside as best you can, mask up, but most importantly, to take care of yourself. Make sure you get in the extra vitamin C each and every day.
Absolutely. That is a good note for me. But let's just jump on right in. Jump in and let's take it a little bit back. Congratulations. The Chamber celebrated 8 years of operation just a few weeks ago. That is wild.
Wild beyond belief. Like, I never would have thought when we launched 8 years later where we'd be.
So what's the story of the creation of the Chamber?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's one that started actually a year before we officially launched. So I went to Marquette University, and shortly after graduation, I noticed a number of my LGBTQ classmates start heading down to Chicago, to New York, out to LA. And I kind of asked why. And their line was, well, I can't be an out professional here in Wisconsin. I've got to go somewhere else. It's not a welcoming and inclusive place. And I didn't think that was the case. I thought Wisconsin really was that welcoming environment. But I said, well, how do we go and create that business climate? Where can you go and exchange business cards with other LGBTQ folks? Sure, you could go to a drag show on a Saturday night, but that's not the place where you're going to go. So we organized at the time what we called Young LGBT Professionals of Milwaukee Group. A couple friends and I, we created a Facebook page. We put an event out there and said, let's just see if anybody shows up. That first event in October of 2011, we had more than 40 folks walk through the door. Most of whom we didn't know. They were business owners, they were corporate professionals, they were grad students, they were doctors, they were attorneys. So we said, okay, this is great. Let's try it again the next month. And after about a year, we sat and did a focus group with attendees trying to figure out what we should be doing. And shortly thereafter, we ended up launching the Chamber. So we launched in September 27th of 2012. And it's been a crazy, wild, but amazing ride these last 8 years.
And during those 8 years, you mentioned this intimate group of 40 folks. What has changed about the Chamber since then?
I think first, we've really been able to grow to a true statewide entity since our launch. When we started, we focused primarily on Milwaukee as that first city for the first about 6 months or so, really wanting to get a solid base here in the Metro Milwaukee area where I live, where our office is. But then we actually quickly expanded up to Appleton and Green Bay and focused on Northeast Wisconsin before venturing into Madison. And then we've since gone into Stevens Point. And now in this virtual environment, we've really been able to engage business owners and professionals all across Wisconsin. So I think first and foremost, that's been one of the big changes, is really being able to be a statewide entity. I think the other big piece, though, really comes down as we think about what's happened since 2012. So many changes when it comes to law and recognition and support of LGBTQ rights. I mean, the corporate community is such a supporter of the LGBT community, not that they weren't to begin with, but it's something that we've seen in the last 8 years really grow. We've seen corporations speak out on anti-LGBT legislation to help sign on to briefs at the Supreme Court on LGBTQ cases. We're seeing business owners stand up even more and fight for equality. And we've really just seen the acceptance of the LGBTQ community grow over those 8 years. There's certainly a long ways to go until we have that full lived equality, but we've at least seen massive gains in that period.
Definitely. Something you touched on before that I think is wonderful is about how we have this virtual environment and we're able to do new things at the Chamber. What else is the Chamber doing, at least in the immediate future, for members?
Yeah, there's one that we just launched this week. We launched our Business Builder series. This is really an effort to help provide the tools and resources to our small business members in particular to really help thrive in this economy right now. We partnered with Action Coach of Wisconsin, one of our members, for a monthly web series. It's going to be the first Wednesday of every month from 10 to 11 a.m. Our first one that happened this week was really on what makes your business stand out? What's your unique selling proposition? How do you differentiate yourself in the marketplace? And we've got a number of others coming up, and we hope members will join us for those sessions, as they're really a tool to help connect business owners. But most importantly, right now, the economy and the business landscape is ever shifting, and we want our small business members to have the tools and resources that they need to be successful, to be able to bounce back even stronger after this pandemic.
Absolutely. Speaking of some of our other events and signature things that we do at the Chamber, I want to talk about 2021 and what that year might look like. Even though, as you mentioned, things are ever changing and quite uncertain, we're inching closer and closer to the new year. Do we know what events like our Love is Love Wedding Showcase might look like for 2021?
Yeah, it's a great question. And one, I'll be honest, we're still trying to figure out, I am an eternal optimist, and every event we did this year, and I know, Jack, you knew this, I never wanted to cancel anything. I didn't want to delay anything until the last possible moment. I wanted to hold out hope that, things would improve and we could be back together in person, because I do miss getting to see our members. While we've been able to really make a successful pivot to virtual events, I do miss that one-on-one interaction that we get to have as a business community. But we're still trying to figure that out right now of what may happen. I think we saw, for those that were able to join us recently, we did our business awards and showcase on a virtual platform. And that worked really well for us. And we're looking at how can we use platforms like that in the future to help promote businesses. I think the best part around some of those virtual opportunities are that members across the state get to meet one another. So, previously our members in Northeast Wisconsin were pretty much in, events up in their area. Our Madison folks attended events in their area, Milwaukee, Stevens Point, and now we're really able to build kind of a true statewide network and relationships between businesses. So while we're still figuring out what some of those events may look like, I do believe that in 2021, but even beyond that we will continue to have some sort of virtual element that will allow our members to connect and support one another across the state and be able to plug in. And we're looking at a number of different online platforms and tools right now that will hopefully take us beyond just Zoom, but will give us an opportunity to really have one-on-one meaningful conversations between businesses, to continue that collaboration and to continue to support one another. I know it's one of the things that I hear most often from our members is that they love the chance to connect with one another and can't wait to continue to provide those opportunities as we move into 2021.
Absolutely. And I can't believe that we are that close to 2021, that we have spent time working from home for this long and have had to sort of survive and find ways to thrive through connection just through Zoom, or events like this, like Live at the Chamber, where we're just talking to one another.
It's been crazy, I think. If you would have told me 7 months ago that we'd still be at home, we'd still be doing this, I wouldn't have believed you. I remember when we shut down the chamber office and we said, oh, we're going to be shut down for like the next month and we'll see each other at the beginning of April. And here we are in October. But I'm proud that we're an organization that's leading and putting health and safety of our members front and center. I know there are lots of folks who do reach out wanting us to start doing those in-person events again, and I hear that and I understand it, but we really want to make sure that we are putting our member safety before all else, and we'll continue to do so. And when it's safe and health officials say that we can gather in person again, absolutely believe we will. We've got events on the horizon that we're excited for. Things are on the books for 2021 that we hope we can have again, such as our out in the kitchen food tasting that we had to delay this summer. One of my favorite events. We've got a date for Discovery World for next July. I'm hoping we can all be there trying some of the great restaurants and caterers that are chamber members. So I'm hopeful for it. But more than that, I really want to just give a shout out to all of our members who have done so many great things during this pandemic to transition and to do the best that they can to get through a really horrific time for business owners. And we've been committed to doing everything that we can to support them through this, whether it's through our one-on-one business aid consultations, whether it's through other tools and activities, just to make sure that our members have all the tools that they need. So when this pandemic is over, that they're able to bounce back even stronger than they were heading into this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, we've been talking about how the new year is sort of unclear. We can be sure about our National Coming Out Day breakfast. What can you tell us about this year's event for that?
I love our National Coming Out Day breakfast. Typically, this has been an event that's happened in Madison. Thank you so much, GW Credit Union, for serving as our presenting sponsor again this year. Because we're virtual, we actually get to extend it to the entire state. Now, National Coming Out Day is October 11th as a day that's celebrated nationally, but October 11th is a weekend. So we are celebrating National Coming Out Day on October 14th instead. We are excited to be doing it. It's free for individuals to attend. Our keynote speaker is a woman named Nikki Gibson. Nikki is the North American lead for Dell Pride Employee Resource Group at Dell Technologies. So we're really excited to hear from Nikki about the work that she and her ERG have done to drive inclusion in corporate America and the changes that they've been able to advance at Dell. So we're really excited to hear her firsthand story of what that means to be out in business, to be out in the corporate world, and how to drive change. We do have limited seats. We're going to be on Zoom. Something that we haven't done with a big event like this before is it's not the Zoom webinar format where you can't see everybody. It's going to be open. We encourage people to join, have their cameras on, and to feel a part of it, to celebrate National Coming Out Day a few days after the official day, but to still celebrate and join us at 9 a.m. on October 14th. Registration is on our website, so folks can register. It is limited to the first 100 folks, so seats are going quickly, but we hope people will join us. And then after the program that starts at 9, we're going to save a little bit of room for those that want to stick around to do some networking conversations, to think about what Nikki's talked about, to reflect on that, and just to build relationships together. One of the big pieces at the Chamber that we always talk about is we are about helping build connections with one another. And everything that we are trying to do throughout our virtual events is still providing that space that you would get if you were in person, to build connections, to build meaningful business relationships that will help your business thrive and grow.
Absolutely. As someone who missed the last National Coming Out Day breakfast, I'm excited to get to go to this event from the comfort of home. I'm going to have my coffee, my everything bagel with some pumpkin cream cheese ready for a great event. Thank you for putting that together. I know you're busy and I have to let you go. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we set you free for the day? No,
I just want to say thanks everybody for tuning in to our Live with the Chamber. We're so appreciative of all of our members right now as we continue to grow and innovate. And that's our real commitment to our members, is to continue to be innovative, to serving you. As we continue, we know this is a really unique time, a challenging, unique time for the business community. And I don't think I could have thought 8 years ago where we'd be today, but I'm so thankful for the journey that we've had with all of our members together, and really excited to see what we're going to do together as we create that stronger pro-fairness business community in Wisconsin. And the last thing I'll say, we are getting near the holiday season. I would just say, people are starting to think about shopping and things. Make sure you're visiting your online business directory. I don't say it often enough, but make sure you're going to our website, that you're looking at that directory and finding businesses that you want to support, whether it's this holiday season that's about to embark, which is I feel bad thinking October that we're already thinking holiday time. We are. But make sure that you're supporting not only now, but year round our chamber members and businesses, whether they're restaurants where you can do takeout from, whether they're other businesses that you might be able to buy gift cards to support when they're fully open, whether they're service industry or other professional services that you can use. Visit our online directory. We get tons of searches a day on there from folks who are looking for businesses to support. So I encourage you to go and utilize that as a tool and resource.
I think that's a great point to end off. That reminds me to start getting my holiday shopping at least somewhere near prepared. Again, thank you, Jason, so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to talk. And I think we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, Jason.
Thanks, Jack.